Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Friday the 13th, 2018, and we have a very active pattern going right through the weekend. And right now, heavy rain, heavy snow, and an ice storm, widespread power outages in much of south central, central, and north central lower Michigan, where some areas could see up to 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches of freezing rain. Now, this won't be like the 1976 ice storm, but it won't be too far away. It'll be the closest thing I think we've had since that storm, at least for our area here in mid-Michigan. Overall, about 2.3 to 2.7 inches of rainfall, locally up to 3.5 inches, and that would include pretty much the entire area. So today, even in the areas where we expect the heavy freezing rain ice storm to develop, we'll see showers and thunderstorms first, and then heavy snow to the north. Some areas will get 1 foot to 1.5 foot of snow. Even over the next 7 days, another system will come through later on in the week, dump more heavy snow across the Northland. And again, the ice storm warning for central areas, heavy rain and thunderstorms. As you get into southern lower Michigan, they may be in the 50s, but they'll even cool down. So we had one nice day of very warm temperatures. We had a high of 66 yesterday, a low of 41, 0.15 of an inch of rainfall. And not much since midnight here, but boy, we're going to pick up a lot of rain here over the next couple of days. Our normal high is now up to 57. The normal low is 34. So the highs tomorrow only in the low 30s. We're going to be 20-some degrees below normal. And we're going to have winds gusting to perhaps 45 miles per hour. So quite a storm indeed. Again, I expect a huge amount of people in mid-Michigan that will lose power. And I'm very confident that that could happen due to the combination of significant ice and very, very strong winds, which in themselves could cause some outages, let alone throw a bunch of ice on top of limbs. You can see the winter storm watch extended another row of counties south this morning, and it's very likely we may see at least one more row of counties added to that later on, maybe even two, but I think we'll see more additions to that. And when that outlook comes, I would not be surprised to see the entire area go under a winter storm warning for the north, and an ice storm warning probably issued across much of mid-Michigan, central Michigan, north central lower Michigan. You can see temperatures this morning well into the 30s. That's pretty much where they hold. They may jump up a couple of degrees here, and but then we'll see temperatures hold steady in the 30s through the night. And then I think sometime tomorrow morning we'll begin to see that freezing rain move into the air, and then we'll have a prolonged period of freezing rain from sometime tomorrow morning right on through Sunday morning as it looks right now. As far as the rainfall, you can see this is where the totals are so far. And again, we're going to really start hammering on those totals today, tonight, and tomorrow. And again, you can track this. I'll update this probably at least hourly here once the rain really gets going. And you can see we're at 0.16 of an inch right now. If we look at the satellite view this morning, you can see thunderstorms with heavy rains developing off to our west, back into portions of Minnesota, back into the South Dakota. And again, all this precipitation moving to the north and then moving almost straight east. The low pressure system will move right across northern Indiana, Ohio, a little bit farther south. That's keeping the warm front farther south, and that's going to keep the colder temperatures. You can see how it gets over to this area in Minnesota, and it pretty much is not able to go any farther north. That's because this cold dome of high pressure, Arctic high pressure, is going to start flexing its muscles, and it's going to push this front south. And again, that's what's going to help give us a prolonged period of very heavy rainfall, freezing rain, and very heavy snow. You can see on radar this morning the area that's now really beginning to develop, and again, that'll increase in intensity here over the next several hours. And if we look at the Friday morning map, today's morning map, you can see the low pressure system well off to the east. That warm front going to make it just into the very, very southern portions of the state. So much further south than it looked like a few days ago. Freezing rain begins. This will again be for probably late tonight, I think. I think the best bet we'll see rain and showers and thunderstorms through most of the day. And then for tomorrow, we'll be solidly here in mid-Michigan and down towards Lansing. You can see the WPC has the freezing rain all the way down to the border. I think the best bet, though, is going to be from Lansing up to about Harrison. I think that's where the area, where we're going to see the largest accumulations of ice and some massive power outages across the area. And then even into Sunday, again, very significant freezing rain. Each of the periods for Saturday into Sunday, the three periods, forecast periods, call for about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. So you can see we could easily approach over an inch of freezing rain. And again, that's going to really be the big story. Obviously, they're going to have a mess up north with maybe 10 to 20 inches of snow. as you get into far northern lower Michigan over towards Harrisville, Alpena, Oscoda, right over towards Traverse City. It's going to be a mess there. And if we look at the precipitation amounts from this morning's outlook from the WPC, they still show about 2.5 to 3.5 inches of rain. Again, I'm going to keep holding steady with that 2.3 to 2.7 average I issued a couple of days ago. And if we look at the freezing rain, look at this for Elmo, almost 1.5 inches of freezing rain, 0.8 at Mount Pleasant, Big Rapids about an inch, 0.9 up at Cadillac, Saginaw Valley anywhere between 0.6 to an inch. Again, this is going to be a very significant area, and again, lots of power outages, so get your generators. They should be all ready here sometime today. As far as the snow, you can see very heavy snow up towards Traverse City, over towards Alpena and Oscoda. Again, some of these mounts showing up to about 20 inches of snow. So it's going to be very snowy over the next 7 days. Some of this will include the snow I think we'll get for late Wednesday into Thursday. That's another system will move in, and that could even bring us a little bit of snow here as well, but mainly a mixed precipitation. The forecast, again, highs in the low to mid 60s south before they begin to fall, only in the upper 30s to around 40 here in mid-Michigan, and then temperatures in the low 30s for Saturday, eventually climbing into the upper 30s, but that won't be until Sunday afternoon. It's just going to be a flat-out mess across the area, and then we'll begin to warm up maybe up into the 40s with sunshine by Tuesday before the next weather maker brings us maybe some mixed precipitation at that time. And again, the big thing, massive power outage is expected across south central, central, and north central lower Michigan due to all the ice and the high winds. As far as weather watch this morning, you can see the winter storm watch is in effect for much of the Great Lakes, much of the state of Michigan, and back into Wisconsin, Minnesota, winter storm warnings, and further back, blizzard warnings, where they can see up to 20 inches of snow and winds gusting to 60 to 80 miles per hour. Again, quite a mess. And again, I expect that here sometime this morning or maybe by early afternoon, but sometime today, I think you're going to see an ice storm warning for much of mid-Michigan and a winter storm warning for heavy snow as you get into farther up into northern lower Michigan. So quite a storm we got coming for the weekend. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, a great weekend, and 73s to all.